that gives you more chances to win big every single day. It's affordable, transparent, and rewarding. Run Lottery puts you first. Now here's the best part. With 3 daily draws, you never miss a chance. Start your morning with exciting morning draws. Keep the 3 alive at noon with the Star Midday Games and close the day in style with the Anaju Star Draws. That's 3 opportunities every day, Monday to Sunday, to turn your dreams into reality. So don't wait. Whether it's building that new home, supporting your family, or chasing your personal goals, Run Lottery is the best lottery to stake. Join thousands of winners across the country and make your dream a reality. Now, opportunities to stake today include Sika Kese, Star Friday, and Friday Anaju Star. They say the future is coming. We say we are shaping it. Join the continent's biggest fintech gathering at the 3i Africa Summit 2026 under the theme, The Next Frontier, Shaping Africa's Integrated Fintech Future, from May 6th to 8th. The Destiny Arena in Accra becomes the heart of Africa's integrated fintech future. Come connect with founders, meet the regulators, and close the deal with global investors as we redefine how Africa transacts, invests, and grows 3i Africa. And is also proudly hosted by the Bank of Ghana with support from GIPS and the Global Finance and Technology Network. Register now at 3iafrica.com and be part of the transformation. Again, sports fans, Ghana football lovers, are you ready? The FIFA World Cup 2026 is going to the USA, Canada, and Mexico, and this is your chance to be there live. Ebis Gold Group is partnership with Gold Star Consult, and they're taking passionate Ghanaian supporters straight to the world's biggest football stage to cheer on the Black Stars. Now, introducing the Ghana Supporters Travel Package. Everything is fully handled, so you can focus on the excitement. Registration and consultation, visa processing assistance, travel health insurance, the World Cup match tickets, and round-trip airfare. Internal transportation, 14-night accommodation with breakfasts, also official Black Stars Fan Jersey, all for you. This initiative is officially accredited by the Ministry of Sports and Recreation. No stress, no hassle, just football, passion, and unforgettable moments. Choose from standard corporate economy or corporate business packages. Standard package starts at just $8,900 actually. Seats are limited, so don't wait till extra time. And call now at 0537 804 885 or 0545 995223, or visit their website at www.ebisgoldtravels.com, or walk into their office at Sakumona Estate Junction, same building as Cheesy Pizza. Ebis Gold Group, it's a golden experience. So let's take Ghana to the World Cup. Multi T is elegantly seated to delve into some of the selected issues for today. It's Friday. Stay tuned.
we are blessed to be here awake and alive to bring you another edition of the headlines on GTV Breakfast. And we do inclusivity, so we bring the women every Friday to have their take and you hear their perspectives on the big issues that shape our national discourse. I am Saida Sadek, and let me let you know that at 9 a.m. we will be closing and crossing over. So today we're giving you a shorter version of the show. We know that you love the show and you wish that, you know, we go all the way. Some people sometimes even want us to go to midday, but we have to be able to cover other events and bring you the Ministry of Trade and Agribusiness in partnership with GEPA, Ghana Export Promotion Authority, bringing you the 2025 NTE Statistics launch and exhibition. The annual non-traditional export statistics is happening at the first floor auditorium, Africa Trade House. And so it's happening at 9:30. So we'll be crossing over at 9:30 to bring you those live pictures on Ghana television. That information there for you at our table this morning to look at these big issues. The women representing the NDC is Teresa Kokoashi. Good morning, Teresa. How's your week been?
Well, not bad. Good to be here. Good to see you too.
Ellen Amadeko, who we are wishing a speedy recovery, is under the weather, and so we're wishing you well, ma'am. I hope that you get better so that we can have you back at the table. Good morning to you. Unfortunately, we could not hear back from the NDC's team, the MPP's team, I must say, on who will represent them at the table now that Ama is under the weather. We're expecting also a rep from the United Party as well, and if she gets here, she definitely will be at the table. So it looks like I get to do this with Teresa alone for now this morning. And the big issues, there's one that piqued my attention either 2-3 days ago. It's a touch-and-go story about the 26-year-old man in police grips for allegedly stealing a police armored vehicle. And I'm asking, and because today is Friday, and we're encouraged to our mother tongue, that's what the Gumbes will say. Okokudro, I think that's what they say in Tree. Where did he get the Okokudro to steal an armored vehicle, a police armored vehicle? Richie is trying to correct me. Is it Fancy or Tree? I'm sorry if I butchered it, but yeah. Where do you get such vim, such verve to be able to steal a police armored vehicle? Such a brave young man, and he's in police custody somewhere in Ankaria. We hear he wanted to use it to go and work. And I'm asking, what kind of work? People are asking, is he going to load passengers as a trotro? And I think that, you know, there may be something sinister about the work, maybe an armed robbery attack. Because what kind of work are you going to use a police armored vehicle to do, Teresa?
Says, let me help you here. The fancies will say, when you're kukudru fihin, like the thought of it alone.
Hey.
I am this one. This one. We were laughing about it. I'm sure by now his family is something else. They should forgive us. That probably, I mean, I'm just thinking if his mom is alive, now the mom is, so you can imagine. Yeah. But you can't help but laugh about it. Before, I mean, where from this? And then unfortunately, you forget that once the law grabs you, the law is the law. This one, you couldn't get any vehicle. An armored vehicle.
Any vehicle, armored vehicle.
I don't know. I don't know what is embolden our youth, and is it the boldness? I am this one.
We can channel that bravado into other things, you know.
This one.
Maybe go and work in the zoo where you get to deal with lions and, you know, things that will test your adrenaline rush.
This one, my brother, you are dead though. He's a young man, and I don't know. But
there are calls to check his mental health.
Well, I think so too. I was going to add that. Okay. I think we need to check and see if everything is okay. Because we are
very upset.
I've heard a lot, but this one
in full daylight.
It beats all.
Absolutely. And let me say good morning as well, and congratulations to the Students' Loan Trust Fund CEO, Dr. Sajida Shiraz. Yesterday, she invited media personalities and the media as well for the launch of the 20th anniversary of the SLTF which Shatta Wale is partnering them for a song competition for university students. And so the winners get to walk away with some good cash prizes and some, support from Shatta Wale's team to be able to realize their talent if they want to do music. So congratulations to them. Theresa, the AG's department assuming control of the OSP's cases has been in the news. Deputy Attorney General, Minister for Justice, Dr. Justice Srim Sai, says that the Office of the Attorney General's department will take steps to assume control of the cases after that High Court ruling currently being prosecuted by the OSP in compliance with the order. Now, the directive follows the legal challenge by an accused person, Dr. Peter Archibald Hyde, who questioned the authority of the OSP to prosecute without prior authorization from the Attorney General. What are the sentiments on the streets? That why was the office established already? Do we have too many anti-corruption agencies already, and this is a duplicity? All of those sentiments are rife. The cases that the AG's office is taking over are quite a number. I see here Republic versus Issa Seidu and 3 others, a bail hearing of one of the accused persons who tried to travel without permission. The OSP, informed the court about certain updates and all of that in that case. And many other, Counsel for the Republic on the point of law stated that although, so still on that matter, but in many other cases that the OSP is going to take over. Okay, Theresa.
Yes, yes. I remember when the office of the OSP was set up, and Ghanaians generally were very happy because we thought that this is an office that is coming to fight corruption and then ensure that this canker that is eating, our country will put a stop to it. So yes, but obviously years have, as time passed, it's as if it was set up as a campaign promise to, as it were, get back at some people. Because you see, the Constitution under Article 88 gives the AG all the power to prosecute. Now, out of this power, the AG gives some EI, so through executive instruments. So we have the police, immigration, GRE. There are some institutions that are able to prosecute, but of course, through an executive instrument, it has to be granted. Now we have an office that was set, and then this bit was never given. It was never.
The executive instrument
was never granted. Now, even with the acts of the OSP itself, 4.2 states that you get that power to prosecute from the AG. Okay. But still, it was never done. So now the question, for me, I'm not a lawyer. So the question I've been asking is, so all these years, it means that the OSP, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, not necessarily the person, but does it mean that the office itself has been lawless in a way? Because if you don't have the act, if you don't have that instrument that equips you to do that, then all these cases, how was it? How did we get to where we got to? Since yesterday.
But how long have we known that the OSP's office has existed?
So I since yesterday, I have been listening to a lot of lawyers. I have gone to other sister stations just to get an understanding, because of course I'm not a lawyer.
Right.
So technically I might not have the understanding. So yes, this dawn, you get here, even calling some of our senior comrades who are lawyers,
right,
just to brief you. Okay. But the bottom line is, people feel that the OSP itself, the office itself, are not up and doing in prosecuting.
That office has been fraught with a lot of
issues. And let's not forget that it has been under some siege for some time. We saw people writing petitions. We've seen some protests on the streets. The petition, even though the Chief Justice said there was no prima facie case against it, established and all that. But I'm saying that people are now coming out and we are asking questions because it's as if the Office of the Special Prosecutor is stalling.
The other leg of it is that people are also saying that your administration doesn't want the office to work because you didn't start it, and so you've been frustrating the efforts, and that's why the AG will be the one coming to give the updates on the cases.
This is so funny. We were here. You know, the first OSP, the first officer
who occupied
Martin Amidu.
Yes.
What did he say? Martin Amidu came out and said that, listen, my people don't want me to work, and even said that the president then is in it, so they don't want him to work.
Is in it as in
they
hadn't
corruption.
Resourced the office here because it was new, and you know they were still trying.
But aside that, we heard him clearly. We heard, and then nobody, when he made those claims, I stand to be corrected, but I never saw anybody in terms of the NPP going to court or saying that, no, you've said things that the man himself said that Nana Addo Dankwa is more or less the officer in charge of corruption.
The man prove that Nana Addo Dankwa
exactly.
Did he? Because
I'm saying
no
that
did
the NPP also challenge that option? That picture that was thrown to the public was a challenge. But the point is, that is gone. Now, under them, they assigned another OSP, right?
Right.
It was done under
Kissi
his excellency.
Was done
exactly.
Under the Eswala
Even Kissi Ejabe, what didn't we hear? What haven't we heard? And you see, it has become a problem because in another breath, you hear things like Kissi Ejabe saying that then he wasn't allowed to work, he was being stampeded and all that. In another breath, you look at it and it's as if his office is also stalling in prosecuting the issues and doing because even yesterday, a typical case was the fact that he had to bring a case against a former minister after he had left. Okay? So I'm saying that case by case, it's as if the Office of the Special Prosecutor, manned by the OSP, the man Kissi Ejabe, what is it? Because now people are thinking that is it that the cases he is handling, is it that they are his own people? That's how come there is some. So I'm saying that it has become muddy.
He inherited cases from Martin Amidu, and these cases span from even members in your administration,
exactly.
like the finance minister,
how many years?
Ambulance issues.
How many years since the Office of the Special Prosecutor was established? How many years?
Is your administration not separating the personality from the office to allow it to function?
You see,
because the personality was brought in by
let's not forget that when both minority and majority raised the fact that the Office of the Special Prosecutor more or less should be brought to an end, we didn't see only minority saying that yes. Even we didn't see only the majority in terms of the NDC giving that applause that indeed, I guess that is about time we do away with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. No, we saw the minority hopping in the same bus as well, unanimously. Parliament with 8 MPs thought that no, it's about time we look at it. For me, it says, this becomes difficult because if you are not a lawyer, but I'm a Ghanaian, so I've seen that one judge interpreting the Constitution that happens to be the biggest of all. Forget about the mandates given to others, but the Constitution of Ghana supersedes everything. So we have a court saying that the Constitution of Ghana does not give you the mandate to prosecute. You don't have that power. We've also seen another court saying that, listen, let me just halt and see the interpretation from the Supreme Court. And for me, I will add my voice to the good people of Ghana. Supreme Court, I know they don't just come out and interpret laws. They look at policies as well. So I am sure when they sit, they will know that this is the way to go and all that. But the truth of the matter is the good people of Ghana are losing confidence. Because listen, when this office was set, we were here. everybody was happy. It didn't matter if, even though as NDC, we knew and we thought that it was just a way to think that they can get to our people. So
when you were in opposition.
Oh yes, when we were in opposition. I mean, we were here when Mr. Martin Amudu started some cases against His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Later came back and said that. But so it's as if I am not too sure if the policy itself, the office itself was not well thought through, if there is something that can be done about it, if there is something that has to be done about it.
I see, Teresa, also that he said that in the court of public opinion, a lot of people will say on which side this falls.
Exactly.
That he said in March 2026, I should say, he warned that the Office of the Special Prosecutor was getting interference, political interference, and there's a stronger call to scrap his office. And so if this happened in March 2026, and this is in your administration, what did you say to sentiments that feel like, well, you are leaving him, you're hanging him out to dry?
So I'll come back with the point I made. If he says that his office is under political interference, I'm saying that we have our MPs representing all of us unanimously in Parliament saying that this office, I think we need to look at it. Doesn't that send a signal? So it means that it's not just about the NDC. Okay, it means that most definitely there is something that needs to be looked at. So irrespective of the fact that he's saying that there are interference, because hardly do you see, and you and I know, hardly do you see all our parliamentarians coming together on an issue. We know, right? We see it every time. But I'm saying that this one, it wasn't just about the majority. Even the minority hop on the train. Okay, so the Office of the Special Prosecutor, I'm asking, what is it that they have also not been doing right? That is making everybody now today as Ghanaians, we are agitated, we are wondering what is happening. But you see, all these things can come to rest if indeed I have heard that they are going to, as it were, what's the word? Is it the right word? The appeal.
Okay.
That is the Office of the Special Prosecutor. They are going to appeal and then see if something can be done. But the bottom line
to avoid scrapping your office or
even avoid that bit of
of him handing over his cases
exactly.
To
so
the AG.
It means that they are not too happy about it. They want to, but it is
probably
clear.
A stay of execution.
Well, it is clear and it is entrenched in our constitution that the Attorney General is the only person that has the power. Okay. To as it were, prosecute. Even though there can be executive instruments granting some institutions, so the police does that and all that. For the Office of the Special Prosecutor, there is none.
So what are we looking at? Is your administration thinking of granting the EI? Or you have overwhelmingly, he should give the cases to the AG and that's it?
For me,
the office is dead?
For me, officially as I sit here, I don't have a and for me, it will be clear. I will say it as it is. There is no communication officially from us saying that this office, because after all, when the MP said that it should be scrapped, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama came in, right? So for me, as I sit here at the top, I don't know what the decision is. However, I'm thinking that if the Supreme Court comes in, it will put everything at rest. I mean, there will be calmness. And for me, I like it when we test the law. We would always test the law, the Constitution, and then the fact that there is a review committee
of the
now also helps matter. So it's good that some of these things are coming out. The fact that we are not saying that all these cases being handled under the OSP should be halted. The Attorney General is taking over just to
and that's another issue. The Attorney General has been giving updates on cases that people have said, or the opposition have said, there are media trials here and there, finality should be brought, or to some extent, we should see something substantial from the cases being brought to its final conclusion, but we are not. It's just the updates. What's the guarantee that his office is rightfully going to finalize these matters?
But let's not forget that for issues of law, it doesn't come just a day. You don't just get up and then it is resolved and all that. For me, I'm looking at the commitment level, and then our Attorney General, Honorable Ayeni, has indeed proven that we are ready to. But it's not easy. It's not easy to resolve some of these issues. I'm not a lawyer, so probably I can come sit here and rant and make it sound like it's that easy. Okay, but I am looking at the commitment level. Are we committed in solving the problem? Because at the end of the day, it is taxpayers' money. Alleged corrupt issues. I mean, all this money, it doesn't belong to anybody. It belongs to the good people of Ghana.
Right.
That those money can be channeled into whatever, into any of our sectors. So it is a problem for me. It is a problem for you. It is not fair that you come and you serve, and at the end of the day, there are some monies that cannot be accounted for. One thing I'm also looking at is the promise of the fast track courts. Yes, that Ghanaians also want to see.
Right.
Exactly. So those are the angles that,
if not, it will look like administrations hide under the shadow of the wheels of justice grind slowly, and so this is going to drag. This is the right office, which doesn't have the slowness of an executive instrument if it's for the OSP, and so the Attorney General is well positioned to be able to handle these cases and bring it to finality. But we're in 1 year, 4 months of the administration, and none of these cases, we're seeing people being locked up, but we hear that huge sums of money have been pillaged.
But the point is, those issues are not dead. There are issues that are still open.
When will they die? That's the question.
My sister,
where will they analyze them? Because
as I sit here,
we need the money.
As I sit here, I wish it will die tomorrow. Let's take the money and do something with it. But the truth of the matter is that issue is still those issues are still being pushed. The Chief Justice, boss, sir, the good people of Ghana. I mean, let's see this fast track court, right? This fast track court that is solely going to ensure that cases of such, because listen, if cases are brought, let's not forget that in the open courts, it's not just about corruption. There are other cases and all that. But if this fast track court is established and we are committed to it, and then we are making sure the right thing is done, then we won't have a problem. So I am looking, people are saying that today, I mean, when you listen to the lawyers and all that, they are saying, in fact, the Supreme Court can't decide not to even intervene because the Constitution of Ghana makes it clear. So, but I've realized that law would always have a divergent views. As for law, it's subject to interpretation.
Of,
my sister. So you listen to this one, you listen to this one, you come back and you are like, hey, but the point is, because if we are really going to keep the office of the special prosecutor, then it means that we need to let the good people of Ghana have the confidence in this office. Because now it's as if the confidence in this office. No.
And does this office fall in line with any of your, in the grand scheme of things, your policies, your goals for this country, resetting? That's what your administration says. Because oral was, touted a lot in opposition, and so an office that is meant to recover loot in a way, is this something that, if the NPP's administration had not put up, you would have considered putting up?
That I can't.
And if not putting up, but supporting?
Why not? For me, as a Ghanaian, why not? Anything that will push for accountability. Why not, my sister? Okay. It is for the oral. We all know that there was no law backing them. There was indeed. We didn't give them any law. It was just that.
Was it said that there was no law backing them?
There was.
When you were campaigning, and you said you convinced people that people have looted. So
people have looted. So we have heard, and it is out there publicly, the issues that ORA per se have followed and have flagged with the Attorney General. Obviously, oral itself doesn't have that power It's not a body that was set to, I hope you are getting, that wasn't an extra body to add up to the Yoko and the rest, but it was just a way to fast track and ensure that these are some of the cases. Let's bring it to bear. And the truth of the matter is, it will interest Ghanaians to know that even with the work of what ORAL did, there have been instances where people hurriedly, whatever they had in terms of money, resources, they've sent
it back.
Yes. So we can't say that ORA has not achieved anything at all in a way. But having said that,
because they said that, I mean, how it was preached wasn't like how it is today, where you go into plea bargaining, noli prosequi, and all of that for people to return. So people were going to be locked up, you know.
Plead bargaining.
Stolen. So
plead bargaining. Let's not forget that we didn't bring it, right? But even with the plead bargaining, I've heard the Attorney General saying that he doesn't mean that because there is plead bargaining, just any issue at all, any money, you bring it to me and then my sister accepts it and then I say you go away. So depending on how grievous the issue is, he has given us that assurance. So obviously plead bargaining was passed. Not with us. Probably you ask yourself, is it that the government, when they were just about leaving, thought that people might come chasing us, and therefore let's bring out something that would, in a way, pushing us, so that when they call, no, madam, we see kind of. But the good news is that Attorney General has stated that plead bargaining or not plead bargaining, it doesn't mean that just any issue at all. I'm test, I'm put in wherever, and then for some reason things don't go well, I am flagged, and therefore I bring the money and it is received. It depends on how grievous the issue is. That would inform the Office of the Attorney General to know that let me even trigger the plead bargaining or not. But it says me, I am on this fast track. This fast track.
Yeah, because I see that the CJ launched the Supreme Court's 150th anniversary calling for urgent justice reforms. I see that Jerry Ahmed Shaibu, the Honourable Member of Parliament for Wijagbawe, Deputy Minority Chief Whip, also called for bold reforms in Ghana's justice system and for us to embrace technology. It falls in line with the fast-track court that you're talking about, and whether Ghanaians have confidence that you intend to reform Ghana's justice system, and you do not have the cycle of JM is going to do 4 years, and so the wheels of justice grind slowly. There are cases, but when do people get prosecuted?
For me, I would, equally as a Ghanaian, I'll be disappointed. Ghanaian, on record, I will be disappointed.
If nothing happens by 2028,
no,
with all of these cases,
I will be
with the AG,
I will not say that AG can close all cases, because we know. We know what it takes. But I'm saying that we want to see some level of commitment. I have a friend, when she calls and she mentioned my name, Teresa, the way she mentioned, I know there is trouble. She will go like, some of us voted for you people. And she's an astute MPP, straight. She's a good friend. But decided to vote for NDC because of some of these issues, the alleged corrupt cases. So for her, she wants to see that there is something being done. And I don't think it's just her. There are a lot of Ghanaians, even MPP, who voted for NDC at the back of this promise, that you said that there were a lot of corrupt cases. You said that a lot of embezzlement have gone on. So we gave you the mandate. We've given you the power. Come retrieve our money for us. And I know that such people are watching. Even me, I am watching. But the truth of the matter is, I believe in this government, a government which is committed in making sure that the right thing is done. So that's how come we are resetting. And this resetting, you've realized that it's not just about it, it's everywhere. Today, as we speak now, you realize that even since we took over, procurement breaches, you're not really hearing it. It's not there. You know why? Because you have a finance minister who says that if I'm a head of an institution, I cannot internally just give grant procurement as it were, ways for people to do whatever. It has to come to me. So those
I'll come and we'll talk about procurement. And then, because you mentioned it, then sole sourcing piqued my interest because of all the things you are trying to stop with funds being stolen. Let's go to the phone. We're lucky to get a lawyer, the lawyer Enoch Afuakwa, who's joined us on the phone. Good morning to you, lawyer. What can you tell us by your initial comments about the AG's takeover of the cases of the OSP and what the High Court ruled?
Good morning to you and good morning to your cherished viewers. Yes, it's a worrying situation what has happened over the week, that the High Court properly constituted has stripped the Office of Special Prosecutor of its prosecutorial powers. Indeed, it is true that under Article 88 of the Constitution, the prosecutorial powers are vested in the Attorney General. But I believe that the framers, the draftsmen were cognizant of the fact that Article 88.4 talks of authorization or how an Attorney General can delegate powers to other well-meaning institutions to prosecute matters in respect of same, which is before court. And certainly, when you look at the Office of Special Prosecutor Act 959 of 2017, Section 4.2 clearly talks about the same provision that is under Article 88.4 of the Constitution. So it is a worrying trend that this couple must go on. And once it is a constitutional provision and a statutory provision, whether or not the statutory provision is in conflict with the constitutional provision, will lead us to an arena of interpretation. So it is my candid view that His Lordship, the High Court judge, ought to have stayed proceedings and referred the matter of constitutional interpretation to the Supreme Court for the Supreme Court to properly take over the aspect of constitutional interpretation for the benefit of the people of this country. His Lordship, the High Court judge, taking over the interpretation of Article 88.4 and concluding that the OSP has no authorization pursuant to Article 88.4, and as such, the Attorney General should take over all prosecutions of the OSP in various courts in the Republic, to me, amounts to an excess of jurisdiction of the High Court, because in terms of interpretation of the Constitution, or in terms of settling a dispute as to whether or not persons are giving rival or ascribing rival meanings to a provision of the Constitution, it's clearly the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, and that His Lordship ought to have stayed and referred the matter to the Supreme Court. Now, when you meet lawyers, all of us are saying different things one way or the other, ascribing rival interpretations to it. And certainly, once we are all saying different things, then it means that there is no clarity as to the said provision, and that it is only the Supreme Court that can put clarity on the said provision as to whether or not every prosecution that the OSP undertakes, he ought to go to the AG. Attorney General's office for authorization before he or she can continue with prosecution of the matters before the court. So certainly, there is something that ought to be done. And why must this even become a subject of public matter? Because they are all doing the same work. It is in furtherance of the work of the Attorney General that the Office of Special Prosecutor was created as a specialized entity to investigate corruption and corruption-related offences and to prosecute same before the courts of the Republic. So certainly, once they are all state entities performing similar functions in furtherance of the interests of the state, it is my candid view that they could have even settled this matter behind closed doors, whether the AG ought to give authorization to the Attorney General, to the Special Prosecutor to continue its work or not, should have been settled behind closed doors. And once there is a conflict, it means that one is not interested in the work of the other. We have witnessed situations where even Parliament, some members of Parliament attempted to pass a legislation to scrap the office of the Special Prosecutor. So when it happens this way, it becomes awkward that the similar attempts that were made in Parliament, that His Excellency the President made some intervention at the same agenda being carried out using the court to be able to strip the Office of Special Prosecutor of its prosecutorial powers to weaken the institution. What comes of other matters before the court? Now that the court has ruled that the OSP does not have authorization and cannot prosecute him, it raises another layer of defense to accused persons before the court, where the OSP has charged them before several courts, and that almost all accused persons, I'm a lawyer, if you are prosecuting my client and as a defense counsel, this ruling has come up, I will certainly raise the issue of authorization that you don't have the mandate to prosecute my client and that the matter ought to be struck out. So certainly we are frustrating the processes, and look at the industry that has gone into this. Look at the resources at the disposal of the OSP. And funds that has gone into all the investigations and all these things. Then it is all going waste.
Lawyer Fakwa, because you're on the MPP side, wouldn't you say that we could have anticipated that we'll get to this point if you didn't give the OSP the powers that it's supposed to have per the Constitution, and they are performing similar functions with the AG, and even the sentiment that what was the need to create a similar institution if there's another already that could do that and has all the powers, prosecutorial powers?
Multiti, respectfully, you know that in terms of internal security or maintaining law and order in Ghana, the powers it is clearly the jurisdiction of the Ghana Police Service to maintain internal security.
Right.
It is the Ghana Police Service that forces arrest of people in terms of powers of arrest. It is clearly the jurisdiction of the Ghana Police Service.
Right.
But as time goes on, we have come to the realization that there are specialized crimes and specialized issues that need specialized bodies to be able to go into the details of the matter. Now we have the cyber crimes unit of the Ghana Police Service. We have cyber security authority and the likes. These are emerging trends that need specialized training and those things that we believe that establishing the cyber security authority will aid us in securing ourselves within the arena of cyber security. Okay. If you look at the Economic and Organized Crimes Office, YOCO, we believe that initially they were serious fraud office. We know fraud. Police used to arrest and prosecute on fraud. Even today, they defrauded by false pretenses under Act 29. The Ghana Police Service have the mandate, and they do same. But serious fraud and other things, in several magnitudes, are within the threshold of the Economic and Organized Crimes Office to investigate and prosecute same. These are specialized entities. Right. We believe that once technology, once crime is evolving, once specialized crime is evolving within our jurisdiction, you need some specialized institutions to be able to go into same. I am happy that when you go to the CID headquarters now, they have other specialized units like the Special Investigations Unit, Financial Forensics Unit, and other war-mini units in their service that are also trying to specialize themselves in some areas in order to protect the citizens of this country as far as some specialized crimes are concerned. But you see, it cannot be said that all these powers should be concentrated in one body, and if they fail to act, then the people of this country will suffer the brunt of it.
Okay.
It was well intended that the Office of Special Prosecutor was created. One, the purpose of it was that any time that the government leaves office is where you can trace some corruption or corruption-related offences in respect of former appointees and other persons. What makes up the current sitting government? When a sitting government is in power, he sees no evil, hears no evil, talks no evil with regards to persons that are aligned to the government in power. So anytime a government leaves power is where the existing administration will then look into the affairs of the former administration. And we were saying that it was political witch hunting, persecution, and you heard the grammar that were used by politicians.
Right.
It was well intended that the state decided that let us establish an institution separate from the Attorney General, because the Attorney General is a politician. If the NPP is in power, the Attorney General that will be appointed is an NPP member. If the NDC is in power, the Attorney General that is appointed is an NDC member. Nobody can discount the fact that my learned senior Dr. Dominic Ayini is an NDC member. He's even an NDC member of Parliament.
Right.
So what will occasion that he will go after his own people to create some discord against his political party in power? Certainly, he will veer off that arena So the Office of Special Prosecutor was to correct this simile anomaly that we say that, oh, the government is persecuting political opponents because it's using or weaponizing state security architecture against former political appointees.
Okay.
If the OSP has a security of tenure of 7 years, he has an office, he has a staff, he has a resource at his disposal, and is working in furtherance of the state. Then certainly we must support that same.
And I want to find out what will be happening in the coming days. We have to go. What will be happening in the coming days on this matter?
Yes, in respect of this matter, Motiti, I clearly believe that. You see, when you read the case of the Republic versus High Court Accra, ex-party Dr. Zaneto Agyemang-Rawlings, interested party Nia Mashite and others, where His Lordship Justice Kwekuti Akabuafo in the High Court properly considered, as he then was, because now His Lordship is now a justice of the Supreme Court, a learned justice of the Supreme Court, where he ruled that the provision of Article 94(1) there was clear as to the qualification of who becomes a member of Parliament. He clearly applied the principle in the Republic versus Mekankai that when the provision of the Constitution is clear, lower courts are enjoined to apply the provision of the Constitution. His Lordship Justice Akabuafo in that case applied the decision, the qualification criteria under Article 94(1) to the effect that Madam Zaneto Agyemang-Rawlings, then when she contested within the NDC parliamentary primaries, was not a registered voter at the time, and that she was not qualified because the Constitution recognized that the person must be a registered voter in the constituency.
Okay.
It was in furtherance of the Republic versus Mekankai principle that when the provision is clear, you must apply it. But the Supreme Court, speaking through Justice Tukuba in the Republic versus High Court, Accra, ex-party Zaneto Agyemang-Rawlings, stated clearly that when rival meanings are ascribed to a provision of the Constitution, meaning that when we are saying different things, then it means that the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court has been triggered under Article 130. The Supreme Court is the only body mandated to interpret the provision of the Constitution.
Right.
And certainly, that aspect must be referred to the Supreme Court, to bring clarity to that provision of the Constitution. Certainly, what the court has done today has put us all into the arena of absurdity, because we are all confused now. We are all saying different things. We are all placing rival meanings on this provision under Article 88.4, under Section 4.2, and there is. Others are saying you need authorization. Others are saying Parliament clearly envisaged the authorization and granted authorization under Article 4.2.
Okay.
As whether or not Parliament had the power to grant authorization, which is the clear province of the Attorney General, is something that we need to interrogate it. So when an act of Parliament conflicts with the provision of the Constitution, it is only the Supreme Court of the Republic of Ghana that can strike that provision out as unconstitutional. It does not fall within the power of the High Court to do so. So his Lordship clearly adopted he really entered the jurisdiction of the High Court, in excess of the jurisdiction granted the High Court to interpret Article 88.4, which I believe that it was not well intended.
Okay.
He clearly ought to have referred it.
All right.
That, I will urge the Office of Special Prosecutor on to contest this ruling fiercely within the ambit of law. It should climb up to the Court of Appeal for the Court of Appeal to look into it and to overturn the decision of the lower court, or to even file a certiorari application at the Supreme Court, for the Supreme Court to revoke or to stay or to cancel, nullify the ruling of the High Court, because the decision was made in excess of the jurisdiction of the powers granted the High Court as far as interpretation of the Constitution is concerned.
Thank you, Lawyer Afua-Acquah. Thank you so much for those insights that you have expanded on this morning on this matter. Lawyer Afua-Acquah is a legal practitioner, private legal practitioner, and is with the MPP. He's talked about jurisdiction and what the Supreme Court is supposed to do versus what the High Court did and the judge's ruling, and urging the OSP's office to appeal in the certiorari application, appeal so that the decision may be overturned, because he said that the OSP's office was set up as a special, kind of like a special purpose vehicle. And so as things grow and evolve, we need these kind of institutions to be able to complement the already existing ones. And so regardless of the fact that they have similitude in what they do, as in the AG's office versus the OSP's office versus Yoko and the like. And he's mentioned that Theresa, it is hard for them to comprehend or believe that the Attorney General will not just go after people in an erstwhile administration, but after his own people. And so with scrapping of the OSP's office, if that happens, or with, you know, breaking its wings, that it does not have prosecutorial powers, and all of his cases will go to the Attorney General, what is the guarantee that he is going to be fair on these cases? The OSP has a 7-year tenure. It means he gets to serve in either governments or administrations, because we have a 4-year tenure.
Okay, so that's how come I raised the issue of the commitment. How did we even look at, because see, we have a lot of these organizations. He mentioned the Yoko, the police itself, even the Attorney General itself. At a point, we are thinking that the Attorney General is always appointed by the executive. And therefore, like it or not, there could be. So then let's bring an OSP. But the point is, when the OSP, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, was established, who appointed the OSP? Can we think through it? Isn't it the same executive? So yesterday, like I was saying, this donor have not slept. I just want to have student of law. I just want to have an understanding of this entire thing. And then when you listen to lawyers upon lawyers, there are some lawyers that are thinking that the person that will be appointed, probably there should be a committee.
Okay.
Outside the executive,
the OSP, the personality, an independent
there should be an independent body who would vet, and then make sure that they select the right person.
Is it one of the reasons why?
Well,
because you don't have confidence in how the OSP.
So I'm saying that
how he became who he is.
No, the point is we are saying that we came up with this office at the back that there might be some form of witch hunting,
right?
In terms of a Attorney General who is, and let's not just. It's important to note that there are people who are very subjective, who are very principled.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that there are no human beings who are principled. That if it's A, will not say that my sister,
regardless
it is A,
of whose
regardless. And for me, I saw this in Mr. Martin Amidu. I saw this in that man. You realize that this is a man who will call a spade a spade. But I'm saying that we differ from person to person. So we are saying that the Attorney General, whichever office, might be compromised. And therefore we say, let's bring an OSP. But the point is, when we started this OSP, who was the appointing authority? Is it not known that even Mr. Kisi Ejaben is a friend to... I hope you are getting...
People are friends, but as you mentioned, there's principles as well.
Exactly. So I raised that point, that you might be my friend, but you might be a very principled person. So if I go wrong, you wouldn't mind saying that test. No, Kokwi, this one, it can't fly. Okay. That is you. But I'm saying that in order not to create doubts in the minds of people that you are my friend and therefore I can compromise you, people have raised, and I've told you today, I've been a lawyer, student lawyer.
You are.
Some lawyers have also raised the fact that probably in establishing this unit, we should have looked for set up a committee made up of lawyers, made up of whatever, and open vetting.
Okay.
Get people to apply. I even heard some saying that let people apply for it. Let there be vetting. So at the end of the day, it is not like an executive which is in power trying to influence all this. So I'm asking myself as an individual, is it that the Office of the Special Prosecutor, when we started it, did we start at the wrong foot? But notwithstanding, if we still want this office to stay, then I think that we need to put in measures to make it better. I agree with counsel when he said that the Supreme Court, because see, as Ghanaians, we want the law to be interpreted. I cannot interpret it. Lawyers are interpreting it with their own understanding.
Absolutely.
It is confusing.
And I mean, so such landmark decisions would guide going forward other cases that are similar to this. And so leaving it to the Supreme Court, if that's what we're going to see in the coming days with interpretation of Article 884, regarding prosecutorial powers of the OSP's office versus the Attorney General's office. But for now, he's taking over the AG, taking over all the cases that the OSP was working on until final determination of that matter is brought. Teresa, I want us to move to the Ghana Immigration Service, who has rescued 305 West African nationals, including 113 children, in an intelligence-led anti-trafficking operation targeting organized street begging networks. International Street Children Day was just 2 days ago, I believe, that exploit vulnerable foreign nationals. The operation, conducted in the early hours of Wednesday, focused on areas within the Greater Accra region, including Aboso, Okai, Zongo Junction, Nima, Medina, and Kaneshie. According to the release issued by Ghana Immigration Service, a total of 205 West African nationals were encountered during the exercise, and this comprises 113 children. The children are in the majority here, 66 adult women and 126 adult men. So the men even outnumber the children, but they are almost at par. Of the children rescued, 36 are male, and the highest number is the females. The females are more than the boys, 77 of them. A significant number of minors involved underscores the growing concerns about vulnerability of children within these exploitative arrangements. Early last year, I believe, on the show, we picked a live feed from the Circle area, the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, Dubai, where Ghana Immigration Service was busing these immigrants to their offices to find a way. I mean, in the Estwal administration, even they flew them, right, Teresa? They flew them back to their countries. And this trafficking situation is still plaguing us.
My sister, I am not too sure about the word rescue. Where from the rescue?
Well, they found themselves on the streets of Ghana.
So
I'm a Nigerian or a Malian.
How did they get to the streets of Ghana in the first place? How? In that when they get here now, we rescue them. I'm asking this because last year, May, there was a similar exercise. Indeed, the numbers were over 2,000, right? And then it was touted as rescue. Following year, we are back again saying rescued. I'm asking myself, Ghana Immigration Service have the mandate to ensure that our borders are well kept. I mean, we don't get people flagging it. So what's happening? I am confused. Seriously, as a Ghanaian, I am confused. So therefore, when they do this and they come back and they say we have rescued, you have rescued what in the first place? Probably I might not have the understanding, so I might be going hard on them. But listen, I'm saying that what is happening, that people are able to penetrate through our borders and get to our country. And then at the end of the day, at dawn, we gather ourselves, we mop up, we go for them. It is becoming a canker.
Because we are supposed to protect the rights of children, education, proper housing.
Exactly.
Clean.
So how are they getting in the country in the first place? How? My says, I am lost though. How are they getting in?
What is your recommendation?
So I am asking GIS, Ghana Immigration Service, is it that they are outsourced? Is it that they don't have? Because you see, it is the borders. Obviously, all these people came through our borders, most of them through the lands, right? Through our land borders. So therefore, what is happening? Is it that the Ghana Immigration Service don't really have the sources, the resources
to
pick intelligence, the resources in terms of even the border posts? Some border posts must even go off. Some border posts really
routes as well.
Exactly. So what is it? Because there are some uproot routes that they say, okay, so Aflao here is the border. But I know that there are some uproots, some routes that they use. And therefore, if you don't if GIS is not really resourced, then you ask yourself, can they go to those unapproved routes? So they should come again.
Okay.
If they are not really resourced, then it means that the state has to look at it and make sure that they are really resolved. But this one possibly can't go on. There is this thing that is going on that when you get to Circle, it's it's not really. So let's move away from
I don't know
this.
If you are encouraging it or you are being.
So let's move away from rescuing to making sure that it doesn't really happen, because over the years it has become so much.
It has become.
It's
and I
worrisome.
hear that on there are certain countries that you wouldn't see them on the street on the African continent, but there are also some that are also dealing with this situation on the street.
We are two nice people.
Remember that we'll be crossing over for a live coverage. Remember that we'll be crossing over for a live coverage from the Ministry of Food, Ministry of Trade and Agribusiness, as well as GEPA. But up next is an exclusive interview you don't want to miss with Reverend Dr. Christy Doe Tete. You stay with the show.